They call me Squirrel.
What's going on, Squirrel Squad? It is your boy, the Squirrel, and today I'm back with a piece called TV Legend Parkinson Reveals His Worst Ever Guests. This is from the Today Show Australia, and I would like to check this out because I've done some Parkinson interviews with people, and I got some more Parkinson interviews coming up because I'm going to do Lily Savage on Parkinson, and I'm going to do Dame Edna Everage and Les. I'm going to do them on Parkinson. So I got more to do. Parkinson was legendary. His interviews are great. I think for me, my first introduction to Parkinson was that frickin' ostrich, I think was the first one. But so this is, I'm not sure. We got right now, there's a guy on a street on the Today Show. So I'm not sure how this leads into Parkinson, but it does apparently because it's Parkinson reveals his worst ever guests. I can't wait. I hope that this is funny but insightful, and I'm hoping that anybody that watches this that hasn't seen this before goes, I didn't know that, because that's what this is all about, right? It's like me learning, but also hopefully catching one of you guys off guard once I'm teaching you a little something too, just because it's fun. And I always love it when people say, I never saw that before, I didn't know that. That makes me happy, because not only did you get to experience it with me, but I was the one who was able to bring it to the forefront. So that's kind of cool. So let's get into this and see what this is all about. Today's Show Australia. Hopefully they're nice to me and let me use the video. Of course they will. Nice people, right? Here we go.
I have been doing a bit of travel of late and found myself in London a couple of weeks ago in the beautiful village of Bray, which just so on the River Thames, which just so happens to be the home of Sir Michael Parkinson, the man who has interviewed everybody over the years. He's an absolute legend, as you know. He's got a great affinity with our country. He's headed to Australia for a speaking tour, and I had the pleasure of sitting down for a bit of a chat with the man who's interviewed everybody, Sir Michael Parkinson.
Sir Michael, it's an honour and a pleasure. Thank you for this.
Thank you, sir.
When you sit down with someone fabulous or famous and or both to set the scene for an interview, how important is that first question?
I've never been asked that before.
Evening and welcome.
I think the most important thing about interviewing is to actually establish a relationship with the person sitting opposite, because after all, it's a totally phony operation. All this nonsense around, palaver, walk down the stairs, a band playing, all that sort of stuff. And I don't care who you are. When you reach the bottom of the stairs, you see this stranger opposite you, me, you think, what the hell am I doing here?
But, I mean, did Yoko's presence, John, did it lead to tension in the group? Was it part
The tension
of the
was
breakup?
already there, you see.
You certainly enjoyed the golden age of television, I think, didn't you?
But everything was possible. It had not been done before, you know. We were taken on board by the BBC to do a 10-week stand-in series to fill in for something or other. But we decided to try a new tack on the talk show, and we just didn't see any reason why we couldn't have the Archbishop of Canterbury on and Dudley Moore. I mean, why not? And if the Archbishop could play piano, all the better. And that kind of worked.
I love your show, and I like your style. But your pay is so cheap, I won't be back for a while.
I had this encounter with Ali, I mean, which was maybe not a defining part of my life, but certainly when I look back on, I think of how lucky I was. That I actually wasn't so much I interviewed him 4 times. It was that if you put those 4 interviews together, you have the rise and fall of a great athlete, maybe the greatest boxer there's ever been.
Someone you've interviewed way more than 4 times is the delightful Billy Connolly.
Sex is an animal act. and the British just get it wrong all the
I love Billy.
time.
The thing about Billy was he didn't tell jokes with it. He could do if he wanted to, but he was just funny. He had this wonderful way of observing life through a different lens to other people. And he was magical.
Now that you're wary of journalists, I mean, does it give you an insight into what they're after?
Now that I'm wary of them.
Yes, you are wary of journalists. You're wary of me. You're wary of the interview. You don't like being interviewed. You can see it in the way that you sit and the way you are. That's you don't like doing it.
Meg Ryan is...
Meg Ryan's pupils are awfully big in this interview. Maybe it's because she's scared.
an infamous guest.
Yes, well, not a very pleasant occasion. She was I mean, I felt quite sorry for her in a sense because I went to her dressing room before she came on the show and she was at the end of a long tour promoting a film I don't think she much cared for. I left without saying a word, though. This is going to be a rough ride. And by God, it was.
Well, just wrap it up.
You have had an affinity with many Aussies over the years,
Yes.
including the very fabulous Dame Edna, and by pure coincidence, Barry Humphries as well.
The great thing about Barry, of course, he's a great
By pure coincidence, I love that.
mixer. One of the shows I did with him and Sharon Osbourne and Dame Judy is one of my favourite shows of all time in terms of the kind of atmosphere created simply because he got this situation, which he loves to, of three women gossiping.
Viewers, Michael has been good because when I was on his show last time, if you could call it a show, I told him stop touching yourself. He's got this habit. Just touching. When he says something, he explores the little bits of his ears with his finger.
Edna and you always used to like a bit of a flirt.
We did flirt outrageously.
Another Aussie, of course, the late, great Kerry Packer.
Now, you're a Yorkshireman, and all Yorkshiremen are unreasonable about cricket. On top of that, you're a friend of boycotts.
I actually ended up liking him. I thought I never would. I went into the interview thinking he's a fairly sort of, not loathsome man, but I wasn't prepared to like him. I didn't like his views on cricket. I thought they were wrong.
Cricket's been such an integral part of your life. What did you make of the sandpaper gate incident?
I think it brought great shame on Australian cricket. I've been in Australia long enough to understand that no matter what we felt, that the Australian public would have felt even worse about it because they are the guardians of the game and the tradition of the game, the Australians, in many sense more than we are. And it's done for now. I don't take the point of view that none of them should be playing, actually. I might say that to upset my Aussie friends, but I think they've served their time and I think they've learned their lesson.
Mary.
The wife. Who else? Well, I met her on top of a bus.
Top of a bus?
Yes. Well, we got married. It'll be 60 years now we've been married.
Show business isn't renowned for having long marriages.
No.
You know.
But I've never regarded myself as being in showbiz, you see. I regard myself as being a journalist. That's what's on my passport. That's what will always be there. I know for a certain fact that in any proper assessment of our relationship, the one who's kept it together is Mary. She's been the one. She's been the anchor of it all. So we have a nice sort of unshowbizy life, if you like.
Oh, what an absolute legend that gentleman is. We spoke for over 2 hours, believe it or not, and as you could appreciate, there's plenty more, some more wonderful, wonderful stories. We're turning all that stuff into a 1 hour special that's going to air on the Nine Network in a couple of weeks' time. Sir Michael is, of course, coming to Australia for his Farewell Australia tour. Those tickets are on sale now. We've got all the dates and details on our website. I suggest you go to Ticketek for details. But Sir Michael Parkinson, we salute you, sir. He is the cream of the crop when it comes to the stuff that that us Johnny-come-latelys attempt to do. Deb and Georgie, I'm sure with deference you would agree with that.
Oh, interviewer Parnan, he's absolutely, wonderful. And we could have watched another hour of that, Dickie. It was fantastic. Looking forward to seeing
Well, we've got
this
another
video.
hour coming up.
Exactly. Perfect.
That was really cool. Michael Parkinson is, I could just listen to him speak for a long time. He's got a very soothing voice. He's obviously was a great presenter for many, many years. I should just start doing a lot of his stuff, I guess, a lot more of it. I didn't hear him talk about his worst ever guests. I mean, he just talked about people that he had on the show. He didn't seem like he minded a lot of those people. You know, he talked about the cricket guy and how he actually liked him, and Dame Edna, and what fun that was. And Meg Ryan, maybe Meg Ryan was the weird one. She's kind of weird, right? Anyway, I just didn't get the worst ever guest part of it, but I still love this. I thought this is still a great video. Is Michael Parkinson still with us? Let me look. Hold on one second. So great news. Parkinson's still alive. Still living in Bray. That's awesome. Still married. That's awesome. That's so awesome. I think it's great that he's still with us. He's 88 years old, and he did an interview in 2022, I saw. So I gotta look more into Parkinson. I really enjoyed everything I've seen so far. Like I said, great presenter. So, what'd you think of that piece? What'd you think? And tell me, did I miss it? Maybe I missed where he snuck a couple in. I don't know. I was listening, man. I might have missed it though. Parkinson. I mean, is he? He's like he's got to be like a legend, right? In England. I mean, just a complete absolute legend. I would imagine. I'd imagine he's like one of those national treasures. I think people have told me that actually before. I'm positive people have said Parkinson's a natural treasure. I don't know why I asked if it was, because he's got to be, right? Anyhow, that's what I got for Parkinson. And that's going to wrap this episode of the Look Squirrel reaction channel up. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed my coronation video that I put out. And I hope that you'll enjoy the next piece I put out and the piece after that. I will catch you folks real soon. Be good, all right? Take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. I'll take care of the people on this side of the pond. I'll try. Not take care of them. I'm not doing it. Nope. They're all on their own. Good. Be good. Scroll out.